You've probably heard that dark chocolate could be good for your heart. Now, a new small study by Harvard researchers suggests drinking hot chocolate might be good for your brain.
Dr. Gayatri Devi is a clinical associate professor of neurology at the NYU School of Medicine. She's also director of the New York Memory and Healthy Aging Services. Good morning.
Good morning.
Any opportunity to have more chocolate is always a golden opportunity, I think most of us think. So what exactly has this study found?
Well, I was just glad that we finally had a study that wasn't telling us that broccoli is better for us. But what the study found is that drinking cocoa actually helped improve blood flow to the brain. And our brain, even though it weighs just about 2 pounds, takes up 25% of the oxygen, of the blood, of the glucose. So it's a very power-hungry organ.
So you're a neurologist. What does cocoa do to the brain?
Well, what it does is it improves the blood flow to your brain. And your brain, like I said, is like a car, a high-performance Ferrari, if you will. So it needs really a lot of fuel all the time.
But it's not, is it the sugar or is it the flavonoids?
It's the flavonoids.
Flavonoids.
Yeah, and the flavonoids are good for all the blood vessels, and they increase the blood flow to your brain.
How exactly did they figure this out?
So in this study, they looked at people in their late 60s, early 70s, almost all of whom had high blood pressure, many of whom had diabetes, and they found that they did much better on memory tests, and their blood flow to their brain also improved, and it improved based on ultrasounds that they did.
So does this have greater benefit for older people?
It has more benefit for people who already have disease in their blood vessels. Because normal people and people whose blood vessels constrict and dilate normally don't necessarily need this extra help that the flavonoids provide. But we don't really know it's the flavonoids. We know that it's something in the cocoa.
Right, so it's still a small study. They're not yet recommending that you go out and drink a bunch of hot cocoa to something.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. For people who are diet conscious, if you will, are there other foods that have flavonoids that may create the same types of effect on the brain?
Sure. I mean, anything that's high in antioxidants. Apples are good for you.
Blueberries
are good for you. And exercise. Any kind of aerobic exercise increases blood flow to your brain. And that's really what the flavonoids do, is that they increase the flow of blood to your brain.
My favorite part of this is that you said my brain is a Ferrari. That makes me feel so much better.
Let's rev it up. All right. Dr. Gayatri, great to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.